I was wondering at what point you actually realized Sunday or in game 2 that it wasn't going to happen. And then just from a broader perspective, like what kind of confidence or what might have changed from, in a good way, from those comebacks?
It's just one of those nights. You have those nights where you can't get anything going. We were turning the ball over like crazy. We finished with 20 turnovers, and we just could not get a rhythm. So it's just a feel of the game. A feel for the game, the flow, how your team is playing. Decided to pull our guys early in that fourth quarter, really to get some other guys some minutes and see if they could get anything going. And didn't happen, so we just left our guys on the bench. It's not that we have come from behind a lot, but that's not how we want to play. It was an unfortunate situation where we just played a bad game, our last game against Milwaukee, and you're going to have nights like that.
Great. Next question from Sarah.
Hey, Nate. After such a long time on the road, how good has it been for this team to be able to kind of regroup on home territory and get back home?
We really kind of forgot about that, that we were on the road, and we started this playoff series against Milwaukee on the road, because we had come from Philadelphia and, won a game 7 and, just really was focused on winning that series. And then all of a sudden we are rushed into a start of another series, and we get the first game, and we play a poor second game, but you realize after that you've been on the road for 7-8 days, and you've come through a grueling seventh game series with Philadelphia. You get the first game in Milwaukee. Have an opportunity to get the second one. You don't do that. So, we're disappointed, but, that was a good road trip. You get 2 out of 3, and now you come home and try to defend home court. So we really didn't think about it because we was just so locked into that series.
All right, Sherrod?
Yeah, Coach. One of the things that Trey has been really good about is keeping defenses off balance with his floating game and also the lob. As someone who's played that position, what's the key to being effective in that moment, making that split-second decision to either just look for the floater or just lob it to John or Clint? What's the key as a playmaker, making that split-second decision and making the right one?
He just has to be aware of where his guys are at, what the defense is doing. And a lot of times teams are making adjustments during the course of the game. Milwaukee came out very aggressive last game where they were picking up a little higher. They weren't sitting in that deep drop with Lopez. They just brought everybody up. And we didn't really do a good job of recognizing what their defense was doing. They adjusted how they played, but we didn't adjust to the reads that they were giving us. And that was all of our guards. It wasn't just Trey, but, again, 20 turnovers. You're not executing. So, you have to make those adjustments. We've had the opportunity to look at that on film. And, but Milwaukee will be adjusting according to the game, how the game's played, whether they are sitting back or being more aggressive. And those guys have to make those reads out on the floor.
Jeff Logan.
Nate, you answered a little bit of that in that answer right there. How much of especially with Trey's turnovers, were forced versus unforced? And, how did you feel coming out of any kind of film conversation you had with Trey about his ability to, at least reduce the part that were unforced turnovers?
Trey's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. We just had some bad turnovers. Some of those we were just throwing them to the defense. They did a good job of being more aggressive in their pick and roll coverage. And, we had one of those nights. I just look at it as one of those nights where we didn't get a rhythm. And Trey's going to be fine. You know, the defense that they were playing, he's seen it before. And but we didn't really do a good job of getting into a flow, you know, getting that ball from side to side. We basically just pretty much played in our first option or second option most of the night. And we didn't get that ball from side to side, you know, making them defend, getting to the third and fourth option, you know, making a read to what they were doing. They were doing a lot of switching. We had some matchups that we didn't see, we didn't recognize, and we have to slow down in situations like that and get the ball to the matchup. We feel we have an advantage. You know, so Trey's going to be fine.
Next question from Eric with The Athletic.
Let's go with another Trey playmaking question. I feel like throughout his career, he's been blessed to have that skip pass as part of his arsenal. He sees it really well. He's seen it really well from a young age. Just what can that do to mess with the defense and give another option to play with that help?
Well, again, that's part of the read. You know, when he comes off of a, you know, pick and roll, he has to, it's like a quarterback, you know, reading his options and, you know, seeing what the defense is doing and making the right read. You know, you guys have seen Trey do that his entire career. And he had a night where it wasn't connected. You know, that happens. You know, he has to make an adjustment to how they're defending. And, you know, a lot of times that has to happen on the floor, you know, because if he continues to get hot and they're defending one way, they make adjustments, then he has to make that adjustment. And, you know, he's been doing that for us. I'm not concerned about Trey.